Now you are on.
Cool. All right. Yeah. Right. So through the means of this session, we wanted to walk you through the whole program, what it has in store for you, and what do we plan on doing for the whole program. So we've already told you about some of the requirements. Again, we'll go over them in this presentation. From now on, we have started using this new platform called Bevy, which is an official platform for DSCs. So a couple of things about the platform. On your right side, you'll see four icons: chat, attendees. I think you won't see attendees here, but chat, rooms, and help. So on the chat column, you'll see three options or two, I think, which is general Q&A and DMs. So in Q&A is where we will take questions and answers at the end of the session. So right now I haven't enabled them, but I'll do it somewhere around 9:30, 9:40, whenever we're done with the presentation. And you can start asking questions in the Q&A column itself. So this way we'll be able to answer all your questions. And right, apart from that, I'll hand over to Siddarth, who is the Android facilitator. Along with him, you have Santosh and Meg, who are the mentors for this program. Siddarth?
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah.
Thank you. Hello everyone, I am Siddarth Borderwala, a second year at SNU and a freelance web and app developer. I'm going to be the facilitator for this entire program, and I'm super excited for everyone to get started with Android and see what you guys can build by the end of this course. I'm very happy from the whopping participation that we have here tonight. I'll be assisted by Santosh and Meg throughout the program. And these study jams, they will be conducted every weekend in a similar fashion. And guys, please feel free to reach out to me for any kinds of doubts or queries for anything related to Android or even development in general. Now, I'd like to ask Santosh to introduce himself. Santosh?
Hi guys, I'm Santosh. I'm a first year CSC student in SNU. So in the past, I have developed a couple of Kotlin applications, and one of them is having like 900, like 900 plus downloads in Play Store. So yeah, hit me up anytime if you have any doubts, and I'll try my best to fix them. Now, Meg, can you introduce yourself?
So hey guys, I'm Meg Rathod, first year CSC student, and I'll be your mentor for this program. But to be honest, I just began my journey in Android development about a month ago, so I'm like a beginner with you guys only. And it might sound intimidating at first, but it's going to be very interesting and fun. So good luck, guys, and I'll hand it over to Siddarth. Please feel free to ask any type of questions. You can also DM me personally if you feel shy, because I'm a beginner as well, so I might have faced the same difficulties that you might face. So yeah, it's going to be fun. Siddarth, you can take on from here.
Thank you, Meg. So let's get started right away. You might be wondering what exactly are Android study jams. So basically, they are community organized and community driven study groups for people like us to learn how to build Android apps from an online course, which is designed and developed by the Android developers from Google itself. And it is not just about these online courses. So please feel free to have discussions about anything related to Android development on the WhatsApp groups that we have created. Assuming you are in the right place, here are some of the prerequisites that will be helpful for this program. So having a basic computer literacy and basic math is recommended. You'll also need a computer and access to internet to take the online course and these sessions, obviously. Having a GitHub account is necessary for the program, as we will need you to upload the code for solutions of the work that will give you for practicing, and also for uploading your app's code. It's also helpful if you have an Android device, so you can test your app. A USB cable will be needed for connecting your phone to the computer. And if you don't have an Android device, don't worry. You can still test your apps using with something called an emulator. So here's the outline for today's session. First of all, introductions, which we have already been through. And then we'll discuss about the structure of the course, the units, the activities, and the code labs. Later, a brief over some fundamental concepts that you need to know to get started with Android. And at the end, I'll also give out a list of resources on how you can continue learning and building apps beyond this event. And following that, we'll have a question answer round where everyone will be able to ask any kinds of questions, and we are more than happy to make things clear for you. After this short presentation, we'll all be working independently on the course. But again, please have discussions on the group if any kind of help is needed, or even reach out to me or Santosh or Meg for that matter. I will try and make the session interesting for you guys, but I love your participation. So please respond when I ask something, and there'll be a couple of polls. So please scan this QR code and open the link for answering these polls. And for any questions during the sessions, send them in the chat box. Me or Santosh or Meg will answer them. So you can have a minute to scan and open the links. And just let me know when I can continue. Okay, so I think you now. So let's get started with the program structure first. In this program, you will be working on a course called Android Kotlin Fundamental. In this course, you will build 10 different kinds of apps, and you will be well equipped by the end of this course to build real-world Android apps. And the course will be divided into something called units. So units are basically parts of the course, and units themselves are composed of pathways. Now you may be wondering, what is a pathway? So it's an ordered sequence of activities to learn a specific skill. An activity, a video, or a hands-on coding tutorial, or an article, or even a quiz. You can activities in this pathway in the picture here. So all these activities are meant to help you reach a specific learning objective by the end of the pathway. And then there's a quiz at the end of each pathway to check your understanding of what you have just learned. So here's what a simple quiz looks like. And there are no limits to the number of retries for a quiz. But if you get a question wrong, try to understand what the concept is. Maybe even go back and look at the source material again, and then try answering them. And only after you pass the quiz, you will earn a badge like this one. They may be different, but yes, you will get a badge after successfully completing the quiz. And these badges you earn, they will be saved to your developer profile. So when you're taking the course, be sure to sign in. The button will be in the top right corner of the website, the sign in button. And please create a developer profile if you haven't already. And as you earn more badges, you can see them on your developer profile and even choose favorites from them, as it is shown here in the picture. And in this course, you will earn a total of 10 badges. and that will make you eligible to receive the certification from Google. So let's first familiarize ourselves with the platform. So, okay, so I'll be stopping the video for now. So here we have the platform opened. We have two courses. The first one is new to programming, and the second one is a programming experience. So we are going to do the second one because the certification will be provided only in the second one. And don't worry, we'll take you through the programming concepts that are required, and we'll also take you through the Kotlin language. So once we are done with the Kotlin language and the basic programming concepts, we'll start the course. So the website looks something like this. So we'll have these 2 units, and each of them will have 5 badges. So let's explore the first unit. So in each of the units, there are 5 pathways as we discussed. And in each pathway, let's explore the first one. So it's about building your first app. There will be these activities. So this activity is a code lab. The another one is a quiz. So to complete a code lab. So there'll be instructions in the code labs. You will have to follow them. And there'll be some tasks that are given. So you need to complete those tasks. And once you are done with the code lab, once you press done, you'll be taken back to this page. And likewise, you need to complete all of these activities. And at the end, you'll have to go through this quiz. So once you complete this quiz, so I'll just show you for an example. So you'll be for the badge. So here we've gotten a score of out of 5. So you have passed this pathway. So if you fail to pass, you have to retry the quiz and maybe go through the concepts if you don't understand them. And likewise, you'll have to earn 10 badges, and then you'll be eligible for the certificate. So let's move on. Now that, okay, I'll be starting the camera again. Now that you're familiar with the learning platform, looks like, let's dive into some important concepts that you will be learning about and will enable you to get started with Android. In this course, you'll be learning how to code in Kotlin. So first, let's find how many of you know Kotlin. So the poll is ready. Please go and vote. So the poll is live. Please use the link. Yeah, Meg is just the link in the chat box. Open the link and oh. Okay, so I'm seeing here we have about 90 votes and 88% of you guys have no experience with Kotlin. 11% of you guys have some experience, and just 1% has a good amount of experience with Kotlin. So it's not a problem really. We'll take you through it. And by the end of the course, you'll be able to make Android apps using Kotlin. So first, so let's discuss about the Kotlin programming language. So Kotlin is a modern and popular programming language known for helping developers to be more productive. Kotlin Kotlin allows you to be more concise when writing your code, and you can write safer code that is less prone to errors in comparison to Java. As a result of many great language features, Kotlin has quickly gained momentum in the industry. It is reportedly one of the fastest growing programming languages according to GitHub, and is ranked as number 4th as the most loved programming language among developers, according to the Stack Overflow developer survey. So I think that justifies why I use Kotlin for this program. Let's move on. So to make it easier, you'll be writing your code in the Kotlin Playground, which you can access via the web browser, so that you don't have to do any kind of setup right now. So the site looks something like this, and you can write your code in this window and hit the arrow at the top of the website, and the result of your code will show up at the bottom of the window. So here's the link for the playground. Okay, so later on, as we'll start learning on how to about how to make apps, you'll need to use Android Studio on your computer. This is the official tool that developers use for Android development. This is where you'll be writing your Kotlin code and building your apps. I had asked you to install Android Studio beforehand, and if anybody is facing any kinds of problem at the end for helping you out with that, so don't worry about that. Okay, so in an Android emulator, in an Android Studio, you can also use the Android emulator, which can emulate various Android devices on your computer itself. The emulator allows you to run and test apps, and it provides almost all capabilities that a real Android device would have. Have a physical device and want to use it, it is very simple to set that up, and you will find those instructions later in the course. And you can use either of them. It is completely a personal preference, and for the sake of this course, I'll be using an Android emulator so that all of that we develop together. Now, in any kind of app, is user interface, using which the user interacts with the app. The user interface, also known as UI, includes what the app looks like and how the user interacts with it. We will learn how to build various kinds of user interfaces. We will learn how to build layouts, put up texts, images, buttons, lists, and also grids. It's built using a markup language called XML, that is Extensible Markup Language. XML is a markup language much like HTML and is designed to store transport data. So the layout of an app, the arrangement of the visual elements that the user sees on the screen is the layout of the app. And in Android, a layout is made up of something called views. So here are some examples of the types of views that are provided by Android. So there is a text view for displaying texts. Then there is the image view for displaying images. And then we have a button to perform some action when it is tapped. So please open the course page, and you will automatically be awarded this badge for attending Android Studio. Android Study Jams. Save it to your developer profile and create a profile if you haven't already. And please remember, you need to have a developer profile to get certified. So can we please just do that? Make, can you send the, yeah. So you can use either your SNU ID or your personal Gmail ID. It's not a problem, but you need to have in mind these badges will remain with you. So it's completely your choice.
Yeah, personally, I'd say go with your personal ID because this is something you want to make public even after you leave college. So, like, that's what I have done. But again, feel free.
Personal. So please just let me know. You guys are done. Okay, so I think we'll move on now. So every week we will provide you with some practice assignments that you can work on. Write the code for the assignments in the Kotlin Playground and save it in a file with the name as the question number and upload it on GitHub. Now, how many of you have experience with GitHub? So please, again, go and vote. Okay, so I'm seeing that about 60% of you have no experience with GitHub. So I'll be taking you through how you can submit your assignments. Okay. Okay, so here we have the Kotlin Playground that we talked about. So for example, in your assignment, you need to print hello world to the console. So just so every Kotlin program needs to have this main function in order to be executed. So once you execute it, the output will come here. And once you make sure that you have the right output, first just open GitHub, sign up on GitHub if you need to, and go to this repository page, and there you'll have to create a new repository. So repository is basically it's basically a project. So we can name it anything, and if you cannot come up with a name, just click here and it will come up. You can give a description if you want to. I'm not going to right now. And please keep it public so that we can review it and then create the repository. So and then click this button, get started by creating a new file. So you'll need to first name your file. So name it like this. So for the first week, name it week 1 and then a slash, so that you'll need to have folders week by week. So just write week 1 slash and the name of your file. Name your file anything, for example, hello.kt. So all the Kotlin files that you use will have a .kt extensions. So just copy code and paste it in this file. You can even preview it. So there will be syntax highlighting, that's it. And go and commit the new file. So here is your, I'm sorry. Here's the project page, and this is your week 1 folder, and in there you can view. So make sure that you complete these assignments, as it will be really helpful. And yeah.
Yeah, I think Siddarth has been having some connectivity issues since morning. But we can wait for a while. Till then, if there are any questions, you can keep them flowing in the Q&A section. I saw Mehtab posted a question. So Mehtab, I think as soon as you click on the link and connect it to your developer profile, you will automatically be redirected. You will automatically have a badge added to your profile. So if you go to your profile now, it will be visible there. Secondly, I've sent another link to everybody on the group. This is a link so that you can become a member of the DSC community and you can add that badge to your profile. So I've already sent that link. I can resend it. And using that will also be one of the badges you can add on your profile. Meanwhile, if you doesn't join in, then I can just show you how to create a GitHub repo. If there are any other questions, you can keep them coming in the Q&A section. Oh, he's back. Hi, Siddarth.
Hi, I'm sorry, I got disconnected.
No, it's completely fine. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So these are the links for this. Wait a second, I think I have to share my screen again. So I think my screen is visible now. Okay, so yeah. So Meg will put a link. You can find all these links in the chat box. Okay.
There are some questions on the chat. So one of the questions is, how can you delete a repository? So if you could show that on your GitHub account.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so okay, just a second. It's working now. Okay, so okay, I have this repository. It's not, I just created it, for testing it out. So open your repository, and then you'll find a settings tab. So click on the settings tab, and in the options menu, go to the very bottom in the danger zone. It's highlighted with a red border, and in that, the 4th option is for you delete this repository. So once you delete this repository, you cannot retrieve it. So yeah, so you'll have to type. I just copy it from here and paste it, because I'm sure I want to delete it. And then it will ask for your password. And yeah, that's how you delete your repository. But make sure you want to delete it. Okay, is there anything else? that I can help you with? Okay, sure. Okay, so it's time for the question and answer session. So Prakhar mentioned earlier that we have the Q&A part in this platform itself, but it'll be good if you go to the link for polling that we provided earlier, so that everybody can look at your question. So okay, so we have first question here. So please go to the link that we provided or scan it from here and ask the questions you have. So is it necessary to join study jams? Can we? So yes, you can complete the badges, but the track chosen here is the prior programming experience track, and most of the participants, they are relatively new to development, and I think it will be really good sessions. I mean, you can complete. Hello, am I audible? I think
There was
Yeah,
just,
you are.
Yes, you're audible. So
yeah,
that
there
would
was
be
a
better if
slight
you
lag,
turn
I
off.
think.
Yeah,
Oh, he just left again. So I think he's having some really bad connectivity issues. In any case, I am also able to see some of the questions. So yeah, so going to the first question, is it necessary to join? Like Siddarth said, that a lot of people are relatively new here. So what we intend to do is that some of these sessions, some of the difficult code labs especially, we'll do them together in a group or in, so tomorrow we have a proper Kotlin session. So we will take you from the beginning of Kotlin programming. Hi Siddarth, I was just answering the first question. So we'll take it from the beginning of Kotlin programming and start with variables, loops, if else, functions, so on, and then we'll also move on to object oriented programming in Kotlin itself. So sessions like these will be really helpful if you want to ask doubts from us and so on. Obviously it is not compulsory to join in all these sessions and study with everybody. If you're already experienced, you can straight away dive into solving the problems and getting these badges, but studying together is obviously going to be helpful. So yeah. Sid, are you able to connect properly, or do you want me to go on? Okay, there might be some issue there. I'll read on. Can somebody, Sanskar, can you, or Meg, can somebody just share the screen with the questions?
I am sharing it. Don't worry.
Acha, acha.
It's right
Cool,
here.
go ahead.
Yeah. So Vansh Chandak has requested me to repeat how to submit your work on GitHub. So I'll be taking you guys through it again. Okay, so on your GitHub homepage, it will look something like this. This might be empty for you if you are not following anybody. So just click new here and you'll create a repository. So just select any name you like, provide a description if you want to, and please keep it public so that we can review it. And then just simply create it using the button. And then click this link, create it by creating a new file. Go to the playground, copy the code you have written, and paste it here. Also name your file. So we need to organize it by folders. So just put in the week we are in. So week 1, and enter a slash. So we'll have the folder and then enter the name of the file. So let's name the file hello. And the .kt extension is for Kotlin. And you can preview your code. So it will be syntax highlighted. And then you can commit your file. So once you commit your file, you can find it in the repository inside the week 1 folder, and we will be reviewing it once you submit. Does that help, Vansh?
Additionally, you can also clone a repository to your local account and make a commit. So Siddarth, if you could show that, or we can send them a video after this.
Are you talking about?
No, not forking. Just clone it to your local machine and submit a commit from a local folder.
Okay. So for that, you will have to press this button, and I suggest to use HTTPS because most of you guys have less developer experience, so you understand what SSH is. So use HTTPS and click this button. It will copy the link to your clipboard, and then you can just a second. You can open a terminal. So I use the git bash. So Anand, sorry, Prakhar, is this a bit too much?
Yeah, I thought हम जल्दी से desktop पे GitHub desktop पे दिखा देंगे, but
Acha. Yeah,
but
we
it's
can
all
do
right.
that.
It's all right. You can just show them how to initialize it, or you know what, we'll send them a video after this, a very quick video, because why we want you to know how to clone and commit to a repository is because you will also be required to submit your projects through. All right, so you have desktop. You'll also be required to submit
Yeah.
your projects through the GitHub account itself. So it's better if you learn how to use GitHub in the beginning itself. So all these commands can again be found online very easily. And that is why we just wanted you to get some experience with that.
Okay, so should I carry on with this?
Just tell them the basic concept of like cloning and committing.
Okay, yeah.
And
Okay, so we can clone a repository from GitHub using this option from the file menu, repository, and you can paste the link that we just copied from GitHub, and you'll have to enter a path on your so that it can save the repository there, and then press the clone button. So it will clone the repository.
I think after this, we can also have a very quick separate session on Git and GitHub to explain to them what all of this is. Like, we don't want to scare them about this.
Yeah, I think we should do that.
Yeah.
So, okay. So I'm not really used to this GitHub desktop. I just use GitHub using the command line interface. So I'm not sure. Okay, so yeah. So there are we can open this repository in your external editor. So okay, we can open it in Visual Studio Code. Okay, yeah. So here we can see that we have the week 1 folder that we created on GitHub, and inside we have a file that we saved. So I think we should not take this too far. Yeah, I think this is enough for.
Yeah, we'll have a separate
today.
session on this. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll have a separate session on this. It's
Hmm.
there are a lot
So
more
yeah,
questions. Focus on that for now.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Will the changes made in editor show up on GitHub too? So once you make changes in your editor, you will have to commit them. So saving it on your local machine is not enough. Once you save it, you'll have to commit those changes, and you'll have to GitHub, and then only it will be updated on GitHub. So we'll show you everything in the GitHub session that we are going to have. And can we use REPL.it instead of Kotlin Playground? So yes, I have personally used REPL.it. It's a good platform, and I think you can use that instead of the Kotlin Playground. This is just a suggestion. IT. Okay. So we have another question from Akash Kapoor. Why is Kotlin interoperable with Java? Okay. So I'm not very clear about this, but I think Kotlin and so Java, it runs on something called as Java Virtual Machine, and Kotlin code it is compiled to some form of bytecode, which again runs on the Java virtual machine. So that is why Kotlin is interoperable with Java, because they both run on JVM. Does that answer your question, or should I explain it once again? Akash? Okay, I can go once again. So to run Java code, first you compile it to something called bytecode. And once it is compiled to bytecode, that bytecode is run in something known as a Java virtual machine. So it's JVM. Similarly, the Kotlin code that we write, it is compiled to bytecode, and that again runs on the JVM. So, Java as well as Kotlin, both of them are compiled and run on the same Java virtual machine. And that is why Kotlin is interoperable with Java. So if that doesn't make things clear, I think Santosh might be able to help you here.
Siddarth, so there are a lot of other questions. What we can do is that either Akash can reach out to Santosh after the session, or we can take this question further, because it is not necessarily relevant to the program details as of now, what we're trying to answer.
Yeah, okay.
So there are a lot of questions on the Slido that I'm looking at. I'm not sure why it's not showing up on your screen. Maybe reload it.
Yes, I can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Recent. Only 4 of them. Oh, something's here. Okay.
On the link, I can see a lot of them, so maybe you could open that.
Yeah, I can open the link.
I'll just quickly answer most of those questions. Some of them are very similar.
Siddarth, I can share if
yeah, you just sent me the link. Thank you for that. Okay.
Mehtab, Git bash is basically a command line version of the same thing that Siddarth showed you. Again, like I said, we'll take it up in a separate session. So GitHub Desktop is basically a UI-based version of committing or cloning from GitHub, and Git bash lets you do that through a terminal. But in any case, Sanskar, could you zoom in a little bit? Yeah, thanks. So the most popular question is, I'm not good at coding. This is all new to me. Will I be able to complete this? The answer is yes. We were all new to coding at some point. It is not difficult to pick up a new language. I think most of you here would have done introduction to computer programming or ICP this semester. So you know what C programming already is. So once you have basic programming concepts in your head, it is very easy to pick up a new language. All you need to now figure out, you already know what loops are, what if else's, what functions are. All you need to now pick up is the syntax of these programming languages. So it isn't very difficult to to pick up these things and continue. Also, most of the first year students have learned coding from Harish sir. No matter how traumatizing it might have been for some people, it was actually a very good experience, like exercise for you. So you have a lot of these concepts very clear from your first year itself. Um, so what is the next question? We have already answered this one. Is it necessary to join study jams?
And
Do,
now we have,
yeah,
do
yeah,
we
please.
need to have prior programming experience, and how easy is Kotlin to learn? So it will be helpful if you have prior programming experience, but if you don't worry, we are here to help. We will help you in any way that. And how easy is Kotlin to learn? So Kotlin is, I can't really say, but you won't have trouble while you are learning Kotlin, and it is relatively easy to Java. The code is, much more concise. So that means that you won't have to write, you know, numerous lines of code in order to accomplish a small task. So it will be very concise. And yes, Kotlin, it will be easy to learn. Yeah.
All right, till when do we have time to complete the given exercises and tasks? I think it is 25th of January, Siddharth, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, it's 25th January.
All right. On a scale of 1 to 10, how difficult is this course for beginners? I would say it is 1, because this course is for beginners and we're making sure that beginners benefit from it. If you already know how to make apps in Android, then this course isn't necessarily for you. It's for people who want to, then you just have to complete the badges and leave. But the study jam aspect of it is for people who are learning to code in Kotlin and who are learning about Android development right now. So this is for completely for beginners. Didn't understand the role of GitHub. Can you explain it further? All right. So why GitHub is important is we have two reasons for making GitHub compulsory. Number one, as a developer, you will be using GitHub all your life. It is very important to know how to use GitHub. So through the means of this program, we think that you'll be able to learn about new concepts in GitHub itself or Git. And secondly, it makes it easier for us to make sure to follow what you're doing. So in GitHub, whatever you do for this course will be publicly visible. At the end of every session, every programming session, we'll send you a quiz, mainly to test your Kotlin programming skills. And once you complete it, we'll send a Google form where you can upload the link to your GitHub repository. Now, through that, we'll be able to track whether you've been solving the questions or not. We're not your professor, so we won't be saying anything about it. But we, at the end of the program, we will be looking at some of the best developers and the people who are most active in the program. And through the means of this form, through GitHub, we'll be able to track track your changes and so on, and how well you've been responding to our questions and everything. Next question. I can't see the question, Sanskar.
Siddarth is presenting right now.
Oh, okay. Siddharth,
Just a sec. So here are the questions.
yeah. Oh, can you put it to dark
Okay.
mode if possible?
Uh,
I think it was somewhere
okay.
there only.
I think we have it back. Yeah. Just okay. Yeah. Here it is.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'm just not used to light mode for anything now.
Yeah. No problem.
Yeah, especially when they introduce GitHub dark mode. All right. Didn't understand
It
the
was
role of
awesome.
GitHub. That is done. CSD 101 is the reason I have depression and PTSD. I think they're also serious conditions. You shouldn't joke about them. But in all honesty, I think having a stricter professor for introductory programming courses is better than having a professor who doesn't take the course seriously at all. So if you had to put in a little more effort, it's all right. It will pay off 2 years, like 2 months, 3 months from now. We just have to do the courses at our own pace, right? So we can start whenever. Yes, you can start whenever, but we will be following a particular pace. And of course, we'll be taking your opinion on whether we're going too fast or too slow. But if you want to follow the study jams, then we'd recommend that you start with us. But yes, you can start later and then catch up, or start quickly and slack off. That is completely your call. It is very similar to what you did for Google Cloud, 30 days of cloud. So, you can do the labs together on your own, but we are trying to make it as collaborative as possible. Can you explain how to submit our code on GitHub? All right. We'll do two things. One, we'll share a video. Sanskar will be wanted to create a video for this. So we might put a video on our YouTube channel very soon about how to make commits on GitHub and so on. So you can learn from there. We're not spending a lot of time on this now. Is it necessary to claim all badges to get the certificate by Google or not? Siddarth, you can answer this one.
Yeah, so you'll have to get all the 10 badges that you will find once you complete the course that we are going to complete. So so yes, you will have the badges, and after we make sure that you have the badges, you'll be able to receive the certificate.
All right. Thank you. I find coding very difficult. Will I be able to complete the program? Yes, like we said, it is a program for beginners. You will be able to pick up. Of course, you will have to put in some effort from your side. It's not like we'll be able to tell you, we'll be able to spoon feed you everything. But yes, if you're putting some amount of effort, it'll be very easy to pick up the course. Do we also need XML or Kotlin? So XML doesn't really require any specific uh, editor or something that you need. It's just a file format and a mark. It's a writing format. Again, with Kotlin, I'm not very familiar with Kotlin. So Siddarth, will we be using a lot of XML with Kotlin?
So so initially we won't be using XML. We'll use the drag and drop feature that we have in Android Studio for making the layouts. But later on, we'll also learn about XML and creating layouts using XML. So you don't have to worry that much about XML because it's a very self-descriptive language. So you'll just put in properties inside, the brackets. That's it. It will be very self-descriptive, so you don't have to worry about it.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Is Kotlin the only language used for Android development? So no, like Siddarth mentioned, the two most popular languages for Android development are Kotlin and Java. So if you were following DSA previously, we did Java in the previous Android session. However, this program, which was initiated by Google, is focusing only on Kotlin. That is why we're going with Kotlin, and especially Siddarth already told you the benefits of Kotlin. It is the official language for Android by Google developers itself. So that is why Kotlin is basically very up and coming, and it is much more recent than Java. We were taught difficult stuff, and I am not looking at a lot of first sem rants, but again, no problem if you didn't understand a lot of these concepts. Again, we'll be taking you through the basic concepts of variables, loops, if else, and so on. We start tomorrow itself, so don't worry about that. Kotlin and Java have the same syntax. No, there are obviously differences. No programming language has exactly the same syntax. But if you're familiar with Java, it will be very, very easy for you to pick up Kotlin. If you're familiar with C, again, it'll be easy enough to pick up Kotlin. For all my Python programmers, I also prefer Python. Sometimes when we switch to these languages, it can be a little difficult changing to it. But again, like if you know the basic concepts of these programming languages, then learning any new language is a piece of cake. What's the deadline? 25th of January. Should we use SNU ID? I prefer a permanent Gmail account because you want to show this profile outside of your college as well. So your SNU IDs will stop working when you leave SNU. So if you want to be able to access it, again, there may be an option to change the email, but why go through the hassle? So if you've already used an SNU ID, it's not a big deal. You can continue using that. You can create a new account, totally up to you. I am from a core branch. Will that work? I am not sure what you mean by that. Do you mean like mechanical, chemical, or something like that. I'm not sure when they started calling it a core branch. But even if you are, if you're putting in a little more effort and trying to learn these concepts, and putting aside the fact that if you keep thinking that you're a core branch member, it'll be difficult for you. If you just look at it as learning something new, then it is just learning a new concept, which will be very, very beneficial to you. I only got 2 badges, one for creating the profile and for attending. How to get another? So the third badge is basically what I sent you on the chat. It is how it is a DSC member badge. I can put it on Meg, or somebody can put it on the chat once again. You can click on the link and get it then. How can I get the badge for permanent Gmail ID? Can you please send the link? I did it for SNU. It's the same process. So we will post these links after the session on the WhatsApp group. So one will be to get the DSC member badge. The next one will be to register for the Android program, and the third one you'll get as soon as you make a new profile.
So you won't
Could
have
we have?
to use a
Yeah,
different
go
link
ahead, Siddarth.
for your permanent Gmail ID. You just log in with the different account and you'll get those badges in the account you use.
Yeah, so there's also that option. Could we have used Dart instead of Kotlin? Like I said, we've been asked to use Kotlin. The program only supports Kotlin, so we could have tried a lot of things, but Kotlin is what we're supposed to use for this. Do we need to make a developer profile public? Yes, you can do that. You can also add a link to your profile on your resume to showcase the different things that you've learned. One of the best ways of one of the best things out of this profile is that you can flaunt it. We'll have to submit only Kotlin files, or all right. So this is a very important question. Yes, you will be required to submit your programs or your apps through GitHub. Again, this is so that you can learn how to use GitHub, and it will be really beneficial for you only if you learn GitHub as soon as possible. So yes, we'll ask you to do both the things. I'm having 2 lengthy reports pending by 15th. You're in college by now, you know how to handle this stuff. Is there any specific repository name we should use? No, you can name it whatever you want to. Make it something related to Kotlin or Android Study Jam or something like that, just so you can also remember where your code is. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being Python and 10 being C, how tough is Kotlin? I am offended by that question. Uh, just because it has a good syntax does not mean Python is easy. But on a scale of, I'm not taking a scale of 1 being Python and 10 being C. Also, if you think 10 is the most, if you think C is 10 and that is the most difficult language you've ever learned, there's a language called Brainfuck, which has the name that way for a reason, and there are much more difficult things than C. But yes, like we said, we'll be taking everything from beginning. Kotlin again has a little different syntax from Python, so Python users might have a little difficulty in the beginning, but again, if you try to follow through and everything, yeah. Thanks, Siddarth.
So yeah, this is the language.
Yeah, you try typing. Whoever asked me that question, please send me a code for hello world in that language, and we will see then. All right. Can
Yeah.
we go? Yeah.
Yeah.
So if our projects are not good, then what happens? We will not give you an A grade then. Nothing will happen, dude. We're not your professors. We're not marking you for that. If the projects are not good, go ahead and make a new one. How long will it take to finish the beginner track? And if we can can we switch to the pro one? So we will be in the study jam. Siddarth will be taking the, let's call it prior programming track itself. We'll be taking that one because when you complete prior programming, that is the only time when you'll get the certificate, not by completing just the beginner track. But the concepts of beginner track, which are required for the prior programming track, will be covered in a separate session. So before we begin that, you are free to go through the beginning track and then move to the prior one at your own pace. That's completely all right. If a project, okay, is this course similar to CS? This is not a course, man. This is not a course. This is just something your seniors are. So Siddarth is your senior. I am assuming you're a first year. So this is just a course that your senior has taken out of his time, out of his regular time, to spend time spend time on this and teach you something new. So it's just something that we're doing so that you can learn something new. This is not a college course. What was this year's highest package? Bruh, I am not CDC. Is Android dev more difficult than web dev? I think it just depends from person to person. We can take a poll for that. I would, yeah, I would agree with it, but maybe there are people who prefer Android dev over web dev. Again, it's really a personal thing.
Okay, I'm sorry to
Yeah.
disturb you.
No, it's
Yeah.
cool. It's cool. How would you rate Flutter or Flutter Dart as compared to Kotlin? I think Flutter is easier, but
Can I take that question?
Yeah. I know. I was just
Okay.
coming to you for that.
Oh, okay. So Flutter and Kotlin, so they are completely different. So Flutter is for cross-platform, mainly for cross-platform, and Kotlin, it has cross-platform features, but it's just for an course, it's just for Android. So you can use Kotlin to make anything you want, just like you can use Dart to make anything you want, from servers to front-end web apps to apps for iOS as well as Android. But Flutter, it paints its own UI. So, it has its own rendering engine, and Kotlin, it's for native Android. So I don't think you can rate Flutter against a native technology.
And I just, as soon as I said Flutter is easier, I got messages from people telling me how it is not. So again, like I said, I wouldn't comment on that. Siddarth has explained to you very clearly the differences. Do I have to start Android course on the given website on my own, or will it begin in the next class from the start? Yeah, so we'll begin from the start in the next class, but you are free to go ahead and try it out on your own. Maybe if you do that, you will also come up with some problems, and you can ask those to the Android mentors and the facilitator. What's the average time you should spend on this for a day to earn all badges? Again, depends on you. If you keep getting the quizzes wrong, you'll never be able to complete it. As in, it'll take a longer amount of time. If you get it right in the first hit, then you won't have to spend a lot of time. So again, this is not a question that I can answer for you, but we're following our own pace. So if you follow with us, you'll be able to complete it in time. Are 3 badges part of the 10 that we're going to earn by the program? No. So you'll have, I think one of them is. Siddarth, is the first one part of the
Sorry?
so the question is that they're going to earn 10 badges. Is the first one that they got part of those 10, or will they earn 10 additional
No.
badges?
So they have to get those 10 badges from the second course, exclusively from the second course, not the
Right.
first
All
course.
right.
Yeah.
Cool. So at the end of it, you'll have 13 badges. All right. Where was the question? Thoda sa niche, I think. How would you?
Yeah.
Right. How to make developer profile public? Again, I'm not sharing the screen, but yeah, there will be an option on that. Nahi hoga to we'll just put a message on the group, because even I haven't looked at the whole profile yet. I think she should call. uh, I think you just have to wait for more. You'll be doing this course called compute computer architecture and organization and all, and you'll see that there are more difficult courses than C. I personally found it more difficult than C. We'll have to make projects again if you don't like it. Uh, Dude, we're, like I said, we're not your professors. We're not gonna grade you on these. If there is no such thing as whether we're gonna like it or not. Yes, so some projects we will select, but once that selection is done, you can continue making as many projects as you want to. If you don't like the project on your own, you don't have to wait for the facilitator's approval for that. Is there a time limit to complete the course? I've answered that. Can I share the course with a friend of mine? But yeah, so thank you. This course is not just for SNU students or first year, second year students. It is open to alumni, high school students, people from other colleges itself as well. As long as Siddarth is ready to take you on, anybody can join. Assignments and code labs are same or different? No. So code labs are problems that the Google platform will be giving you, which is compulsory for you to complete this course. Assignments are what Santosh and Siddharth will be sending you, because we want you to learn Kotlin quickly. So majorly these assignments will be focused on Kotlin so that you can learn programming on your own. These are additional steps that we've taken. Code labs are compulsory. Can you kindly explain what exactly do we need to do for getting the certificate? Sorry, I'm a bit confused. All right, so I can explain it as slowly as possible. At the end of this program, through the prior programming track, when you complete all code labs, all quizzes, all everything that is required in the program in the prior programming track, you're going to get 10 badges. When you send us a screenshot of those 10 badges, then you'll get the certificate. Simple. Is there time limit to finish the course? Okay, done. Time limit. Lol, C is an easy language. Cool. I agree with that. Maybe. Okay, I think we're done. There are questions here on the Q&A as well.
Let's check them out.
Okay, we're getting more and more questions here. So Jagannath, maybe you can contact Google developers. So there'll be a contact us page there. Just confirm with them once if they provide an option to change your email ID. I personally haven't checked that so far. If they don't, then maybe shift to your personal ID. So we have to complete code labs as well as assignments to get the certificates, or just code labs? Yeah, so you just need to get the badges, which means that you only need to do the code labs. The assignments are for us to see whether you're being active in the program or not, because we want to give away certain, so we're still, trying to get prizes for people who are doing well in this course, like you got in the Google Cloud program. So for those people, we will take assignments into consideration because we want to see whether you've been active throughout or not. But yes, to get the certificate, you only need to complete code labs and get the badges. Can we send the screenshot after any amount of time? Siddarth, can you take that?
So you have to send the screenshots latest by 25th January. After that, they won't be considered.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So for not just to complete the course, but also to send us a proof of your completion, the deadline is 25th January. So we have to complete code labs as well as, oh no, I just said that. All right, great. If you liked his teaching.
Can we leave at
We
any
didn't
time
get-
if we feel hard? So if you feel the coursework is hard, I think first, reach out to any one of us, talk about it to us, and after that, if you feel that you won't be able to do it, yes, you can leave. No hard feelings.
Also, man, figure out your punctuation. That sentence does not mean what you want it to. There is no time to send the screenshots of the badges, right? I just answered that. The time limit is 25 January. Can you scroll down a little bit? We didn't get anything from Google Cloud. So your cloud facilitator is also here. He will maybe answer that. We're getting it. I think they've started delivering.
They have started delivering. It depends on your location and other stuff.
Yeah. Trust him, guys. You've trust him. Are there multiple attempts for code labs and the quizzes, or should they be completed in one attempt, Siddarth?
So I mentioned it earlier, but you can have like literally infinite attempts to the quizzes. And the code labs, there won't be any checking for, but please make sure when you complete the app that you are making, upload that on GitHub, and will require the link for the apps that you've made.
All right.
Yeah, you have multiple attempts.
So there is no credit system here. No, that is one restriction. That is because Google Cloud uses Google's resources and all a lot. That is why they had to put a credit system there, but no credit system here. Somebody says that they got their T-shirt, so congratulations. I am also waiting for mine, but so some people have started receiving it. Some people will receive it soon. That's great. If there are no other questions and we're all done, people who have problems in setting up the Android Studio can stay back. Rest of you, we're really glad you joined. There are a lot of details that we'll be sharing through the groups, so please remain active there and keep asking questions there. So we're here for the next 5-10 minutes. If anybody wants to stay back and ask questions for the Android Studio only.
Also, one of the additional benefit which wasn't mentioned, I believe, is you will get a chance to be a part of DSC SNU if you are good enough, if you perform good enough in this program.
I'd like to mention another thing. So we'll be choosing what apps all of you make, and it just might have a chance to get featured on Google developers' social media profile. So I think you should put in the work. You might just get featured, on a good page. Okay, so there is another question. Do we have dark mode for DSC page? Are you talking about the platform that you are going to work on?
I think they're talking about the DSC dev like homepage that we have. If that is your question, then I have been writing to the Bevy team to introduce a dark mode, but so far there isn't. So yeah, we have to deal with that. Yeah, we have to deal with that. But if you want, go ahead, create a Chrome extension and help us out.
You can do that. So does anybody need any kind of help with installing Android Studio? It might be difficult for somebody. Any questions?
The badge links were shared in the chat above. Like we've shared them multiple times. If you still can't find it, then we'll put it on the group also. GitHub video, sure, we'll send that soon.
So do we need to make our developer profile public? No, you don't have. If you can make it public and share the link with us, so we'll be able to verify it. I suggest you make your developer profiles public.
Yeah, so it is not compulsory, but it'll be really helpful for us also, for you also, because you can then show it to other people. Poll results.
See the poll results. Okay.
Which poll are they talking about?
Okay, we can show them all of the results right here. Okay, the latest one is this. Okay, where did it just go? Okay, I think I messed it up. Show results. Okay, I can see few results. Okay, so here are the results. So I think people think web development is easier. We can view it here. So 61% of them have no experience with GitHub. And 88% of them have no experience with Kotlin. Is that it? So there's another comment rather than a question. Thanks for encouraging us, though we suck at coding. Okay, everybody, in the beginning, nobody is, good at coding. Everybody sucks at coding in the beginning, but as in when you, get deeper into development and learn more stuff and practice more, you won't suck at coding. It'll be fun. Okay, cannot find the contact us option on the developer profile website. Okay, I'm not very sure.
We'll check it out and get back to you, because even we haven't seen a lot of our developer profiles so far. It's a very new thing that Google has released. It's so if you'd see on the top left corner, it's still in beta version. So they're still testing a lot of features there. So we will get back to you about that. But you don't have to bother about making it public or not at the moment. So don't worry.
Okay, so one person is asking, could you help with setting up my device in the AVD manager with a simple walkthrough? So do it.
Yeah. I think there aren't any other questions. If people aren't leaving, they might have questions or something. So yeah, now we'll stick to Android Studio downloads only.
Yeah, okay, let's do that. Was a beta update for Android Studio 2 after I don't think you should install the beta update. Just stick to 4.1.1, as I will be using 4.1.1 throughout the program. And if at all, the next version is released, I'll let you know if we need to update.
All
Okay.
right, Siddarth, so I need to get back to some work. I think you'll be able to explain this bit, right? So no issues there.
Yeah, sure.
All right, cool
Okay.
then. Great session, and yeah, so I'll see you. Okay.
Thank you for being there. Yeah, being
Yeah.
here. Okay,
Bye-bye.
see you. Okay, so turn on Android Studio. Click the configure button and click on the AVD manager. So this will open up, and then click the create virtual device. So and then choose what you want to create. Of course, it will be a phone. So I prefer to choose Pixel 3a. I suggest you choose this too. And no reason, just the size is good. And click next and choose any one of these the Android versions. So I recommend you download the Q, because I will be using Q in this course. So select the Q version, and if you haven't downloaded it, download it and then select the Q version, and then click next, and you can name it whatever you want, and you can choose the graphics performance. You can have it, I suggest you keep it, and as soon as you think all of this is okay, just click finish. So the device will be created for you, and then you can boot your device from this play button. And it'll take a while for a new emulator to start. Okay, so we have another question. Do developers configure their app for every device one by one? So no, developers, they don't configure their apps for every device. So for the user interface part, they will take into consideration the screen size of the device, and they will write just a single code base for their app. But they'll have a system in place by which the layout of the app will be different for different device width. So for example, if the device is of 350 pixels wide, then it will have a certain layout. If it's as wide as a tablet, it will have another kind of layout. And they don't for every version. So in Android Studio, before you start making, choose the minimum version for the Android. So on that, so if you choose 4.4, So you will be able, your app will be able to run in 4.4 and any version that until now. I think, is that okay? So here's the emulator. It'll take a while to boot up. It's brand new, that's fine. Okay, any more questions? Okay, I don't think anybody has questions now. Okay, so here's a new one. If I want to use my own device instead of AVD, how do I do it? Is it risky? So no, it is not at all risky. You just have to connect your device using a USB cable to your computer, and as soon as you do